I wanted to show you my Claude OS and the template that I've made so you can clone this for free and get started within 15 minutes. So I've been working with my own OS for the last 6 months, and where I started out from, I think it was Nate Herc's GitHub structure about his OS, and kind of like over time, over the last few months, refined it to make it more GTM specific, where I included my own Superbase as the lead database, where I created a dashboard for that as well, and kind of like over time built my own skills for list building, for enrichment, and all these things to help me save, I would say, at least 20 hours every week, even like automating content, outreach, and internal activities. So I want to go over the structure in here, and if you want to use it, you can just clone this, and I will give you the prompt of how you can get started with it. So first of all, I want to go over the infrastructure of it, because if you don't provide your agents with enough context about your business and about the activities going on inside your tools, agents start to hallucinate and give you generative AI slop that doesn't move the needle in your business, because you still want to make sure that you have a high quality of how you do specific tasks. And then when the agent stops giving you high value outputs, then your service becomes less valuable for your clients. And it just doesn't make sense to use agents if you don't provide them with enough context. So how I set this up, we basically have two layers. We have a memory layer and we have a revenue layer. So we have set up a context wiki based on Kapathi's approach. He's the founder of Obsidian, where basically we save, we upload files. So we have our positioning, ICP, our competitors, and we upload them. We have them structured into our Claude OS. And then we index these files, we extract nodes from it, and then we kind of see like the relations to different topics, or like we have, for example, like a node about a specific topic, and this is related to like a subtopic of like a different topic, for example. So we are like connecting these nodes with each other and creating like relationships, basically like a knowledge graph of identifying similar topics to each other and providing the agents with the best foundation to generate better outputs. And then we have the revenue layer, which is basically all your sales activities like sales conversations, CM data, and email threads, LinkedIn conversations, and meeting notes inside one entity graph, where we see the relationships between accounts and we see and identify patterns across your sales activities. For example, inside your meetings, you can extract and see the patterns of common pain points, common goals, common tech stack, common objections, for example. And overall, you see your pipeline activities, and the agent gets access to that with one API. So he can make better decisions, act on better data and information that you can actually trust. Because the agent always gives you the source of where the information is coming from. So if you create like a follow-up message, it's contextual to that specific account, and he doesn't, agents don't hallucinate about, like see you on the sales meeting on Friday, because this was something that I had issues with last week when I was setting this up without this entity graph, that it's drafted me an email saying that I'm going to meet with the lead on Friday, even though it was never somewhere mentioned. And with this entity graph, we see exactly this, the activities across the accounts on LinkedIn, email, and the meetings, and they're resolved into the same account. Then we have skills that are basically like repeatable steps for the agent to execute. For example, list building, always the same 6 steps of like creating a lookalike list, enriching, getting the decision makers from the companies, enriching the emails, verifying the emails. So kind of like we can build our own waterfall enrichment in here. And then we have the agents that execute those skills. And then at the bottom, I added my own Superbase lead database, where I save all the leads that I have, and I reach out with. So kind of going over this a bit more in here, and kind of like the idea is that I replaced Clay. I was using Clay and I replaced this with my own lead database. And you can get started just by cloning it. And I can also, inside the description, I include a prompt where you can just paste the prompt into your, wherever you use Claude Code. So you can use inside the desktop app, inside IDE like VS Code or Cursor. And then you can just run the onboarding, which guides you through like 10 or 12 questions that you answer about your business. You can attach more files to it, or you can also do just yap into your microphone with the whisper flow, and then give your like raw thoughts to the agent. And he builds out your context structure, your context layer, including the memory layer and including the revenue layer in there. So we have a few skills included in here that are GTM specific, but also skills that help you increase your revenue in your pipeline. So for example, we have weekly audits, a morning brief that will brief you about what's going on in your pipeline and what you need to focus on, but also obviously like skills to help you build list and enrich leads. So that's kind of the idea. Skills are here again. And yeah, I just want to show you how this will work. So for example, you can click on copy and then you can go wherever you use Claude Code. So for example, this might be inside Claude Desktop, where you can have the, you can see normal Claude Code, normal Claude as a desktop version, but then you see Claude Code, you just have to switch to here and you basically just say, clone this, open the folder in Claude Code, and then onboard me to this OS, and then it will guide you through the questions, and it will set up a new folder on your desktop where your data is managed locally. And then whenever you make changes to it, you can just put this to the Git. So in the Git, if you have like a co-founder, for example, you can use this together and work on this OS together. But the first thing you have to go to like these 10 to 12 questions, but it guides you through everything. And then you can slowly set up your own skills. So I would like how I do it. If I have like a repeatable process that is kind of annoying and tedious, I just yap into my computer and go over the things that I have to do. And then you can use the skill builder. So it's also like pre-set up in here with the skill creator that gives you specific questions and interviews you about like the details about this skill. So it's a plugin by Claude Code, by Traffic, that you have inside Claude Code that you can use to create better skills. So the agent makes sure that it really covers every single detail of the process you want the agent to handle for you. Also, what you need to do is you can integrate tools. So here, for example, you can see all the skills if you work with the desktop app, and here under connectors, you can add more connectors. Not every tool has native connectors to Claude Code, but you can also simply ask your agent to set up a new tool by including API keys inside your environment file. And then, then the agent is able to connect to this tool and make specific actions. So for the lead database, so for example, I simply, it also guides you to the onboarding. It connects to your Superbase with an MCP server and then sets up all the schema, like the tables, the lead list. And then here, for example, you can see this is my lead list. Also, doing the onboarding, it creates this artifact, which is basically like a dashboard feature by Entropic, by Claude Code, that creates this for you. And then you can, for example, see like your leads that you have in here. And yeah, with the similar purpose of Clay, like giving you this water for enrichment. And you can use this as the foundation to then reach out to people and store all your leads or the leads of your clients in this system. So you don't pay for like expensive databases or for expensive list building tools like Clay anymore. And yeah, if you have questions, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or in the comments. But I've been working on this for about 6 months now, and it's heavily improved my productivity. And if you like this, you can start a Git to give me some feedback on it, because I'm also constantly evolving and updating it. So yeah, hope you will like it. If you have questions, let me know. And if that, I will see you in the next video.